Siobhan had the figure of a model and all the trappings of a billionaire's daughter, but she tended to be attracted to gentlemen of a humbler, less refined station in life than her own. On weekdays, when she had nothing to do, Siobhan liked to drive through working-class neighborhoods in search of men with rough-hewn hands and rudimentary manners. Rusty Ryan was standing at the bus stop in front of a dollar store when an Aston Martin Vulcan pulled up beside him. Siobhan rolled down the passenger window and smiled. "If you're not too fussy about the company, I'd like to offer you a ride." Ryan's fellow frequenter of public transit looked on in astonishment. What did this goddess in a $2.3 million car and sporting a $2,000 hairdo want with a guy who looked like he drank discount beer? True, he was fairly good looking under that 2-day stubble and messy hair. Ryan also possessed a smoking hot physique from years spent laboring on a construction site. At least one woman in the line then realized what Siobhan was interested in. Rusty gave her the once-over, smiled like a guy out of a men's underwear ad, and replied, "Yeah, why not?" Then he indicated the line behind him and said, "You got room for all my friends?" Cheeky bastard, she thought, and let out a small laugh. "I'm afraid it's only a 2-seater. Apologies, folks. I'm afraid you'll have to wait in line for the next Aston Martin." The crowd appreciated his jest. Siobhan was practically creaming over it as she opened the door for him. Ryan entered and parked his faded jeans down in the passenger seat. "You've got a set of bloody balls on you, I'll give you that." Ryan looked down at his crotch. Didn't think my jeans were that tight." "Yeah, I've definitely made the right choice here," she thought, as little Miss Eris hit the accelerator and headed out for the Long Island countryside. Siobhan drove way too fast with her short skirt rolled back halfway up her thighs. She wore a skimpy top with no bra, which caused her wonderfully looked-after breasts to bounce in a most provocative way as they flew along the ill-kept side road. Every time she changed gear, her skirt seemed to go up even higher. What with the incredible shrinking skirt and her tits doing the dance of 1,000 jiggles, Rusty was developing a fairly sizable erection. Every so often, Siobhan would sneak a peek at the bulge in his Levi's 505s. She appreciated the fact that she was just driving and he was already straining against his dungarees. Yes, it was going to be an exceedingly fun afternoon once they reached their destination. Before they reached it, if she got lucky, Siobhan spread her legs as much as she could in the cramped driver's well. Rusty was thinking that he could get used to this kind of life. Fast car and an even faster woman. And rich people get to do this kind of shit all day long, he silently sighed and placed his hand on her bare leg. She did not resist. In fact, the feel of his calluses on her smooth skin sent little streams of chills up from her purebred pussy and hardened her nipples. Siobhan knew exactly where she was going and couldn't get there fast enough. Rusty was just beginning to slide a little closer to Funtown when she slammed on the brakes. "Sorry," she giggled. "You distracted me and I almost missed the turn." Down a long dirt driveway, they shot towards what appeared to be an abandoned cottage. "Huh," thought Rusty. "I was expecting a balcony overlooking the sea and ordering champagne and Astroglide for roof service. Oh, well, she doesn't mind splinters in her ass. I don't mind fucking her on the floor." Inside, though, it was an entirely different story. Although the exterior could have used a coat of paint and a little landscaping, the interior was done up to the nines. It was just a 2-room bungalow, but it was obvious that money had been spent on this little love nest. The bed itself looked like it belonged in an episode of The Tudors, not an unassuming cottage. It was a big 4-poster job made out of ancient carved oak. The Egyptian cotton sheets, dozens of pillows, and bread draperies were all blindingly white. Perchance his little rich girl had some sort of fairy tale complex? His host quickly disposed of her clothes and bid him to do the same.